All right. We are now recording to the cloud, so everything is good. Welcome everybody to a session on engaging students with Zoom and getting to the next level. As you can see, we're broadcasting from our TLS hideaway at the Bahamas. It's really nice out. You know, the sun is shining. We had a little dip in the pool. You know, it's great. This work from home enables us really to work from anywhere. But actually, of course, that's not really true. So I'm going to take off my glasses and I'm just going to switch my background back to something that's a little bit more McGill proper, which is an active learning classroom where we really want to talk to you about Zoom today. So one of the things that we're going to do throughout this session is we're really going to talk about and use all these different features through the whole session. Some of it we're going to explain exactly what we're doing. Others we're going to be sending you links. Every single thing we talk about in the session will be available online that you can look at. This session is being recorded, so just keep that in mind. If you want to unmute, you won't be able to at the moment. But if you want to ask a question, feel free to put that in the chat. We have a whole bunch of resources we will give to you. And Kat DeLeo, who's actually here somewhere, will say hello. And we'll make sure that my phone doesn't ring while we're trying to do a session and move forward with our session. So onwards. First thing we want to do is immediately start this off with something interactive. So you'll see here a plot which talks about interest high and low and confidence high and low. What we want you to do is actually go to the black bar that's going to be at the top of the Zoom bar. You're going to see a view option, select annotate and stamp yourself in which part of this quadrant you feel you are. So go ahead, take a second, stamp yourself there. All right, good. We have a few. All right, keep going, go, stamp away. There we go. All right, some people are drawing, some people are stamping. Okay, keep going. Excellent. We're starting to see some people engage here. This is perfect. We're using the annotation feature in Zoom, and we're basically allowing people in the room to draw on the screen. I see other people are drawing on the screen. Thanks a lot. We did ask you to stamp, but that's okay. What we're going to do is I'm eventually in a second going to turn this off so that nobody can annotate anymore, and we're going to have a little discussion. So one of the nice things again about Zoom is that ability to have some interaction directly with people using, let's say, an image on the screen. Now we had a confidence plot here as an example, but it could be an image where you have to circle something that's directly relevant to the content. I'm a little curious about the people that have low confidence and low interest, like why are you here? But if you have no interest or low interest, but that's okay. Hopefully we're going to move you into the high interest column. And ideally, we're going to move a lot of you into that high confidence column. Keep in mind, this is a session on leveling up with Zoom. It's not a session in how to turn on Zoom. If you really want to know about the basics of setting up Zoom, doing a few things like sharing a meeting or things like that, all of that is available online. There's a great 45-minute webinar from Zoom that talks about all the basic features of what to do. We're really gonna talk about leveling you up. So as part of that leveling up series, oh, and you know what, of course, one of the things I have to remember to do is I have to actually clear all of the drawings so that nobody can see anything anymore. So that's one of the things with Zoom is it sticks to whatever you're showing and doesn't know that I'm changing the slide. Of course, if I use PowerPoint to draw, it'd be a little bit different. So learning outcomes, two major learning outcomes, identifying fixed and flexible strategies to engage students with Zoom. And the last one is identifying next steps to learn more. So where do we want to start? We want to start by talking about the sample 1-hour class of Zoom. And the idea of the sample 1-hour class where you can find the full list on the website came from Minnesota. It's a really great example of what you can do in sort of a 50-minute class. And if you look here, there's a couple of really cool ideas. First thing, start with a whiteboard. Have students think about a question, maybe draw on it, kind of like what we did. Maybe you might do a little poll. We'll talk about those. Doing a mini lecture where you might deliver some content, share your screen, do a little whiteboard annotation, something along those lines. Go back and do a poll, maybe have a breakout room, do a debrief, have a chat, bring all of those things together towards the end of the class. And the point is here is that we want you to think of your Zoom session that you're going to do if you're going to be doing it live, to think of the full time you have, hour and a half, whatever the time is, and be able to cut it up into various sections so you can intersperse that kind of content delivery with interactivity to keep people engaged. So what we're going to talk about in terms of leveling up strategies, in terms of fixed strategies that we've spoken about in our planning webinars, fixed meaning that everybody has to be in the same place at the same time, and flexible meaning that you actually have a lot of options so that you'll be able to use them at different times with students, so you don't all have to be in the same place at the same time. So flexible strategies are really things like recording and scheduling and doing things after the fact. Fixed strategies, we really want to spend a little bit of time on thinking about making your content sharing interactive, getting students engaged in multiple ways, and getting them to work together. Okay, that's our structure. So the first is making your content sharing interactive. So what I want to mention here really quickly, I'm doing kind of a weird meta thing in Zoom to show you the interface in Zoom. This is basically your interface that you have access to as an instructor. And you'll see here a whole bunch of different options, which I'm not going to go over. But what I am going to talk a little bit about is sharing your screen. When you go to share your screen, you have the option of a couple of things. One being share desktop, share applications, share a whiteboard, which is what I want to talk about, sharing your iPhone with a cable, etc., or having other things like being able to share a part of your screen, music, or content. So I wanted to make those things you aware of those options, because those different settings where we have basic, advanced, and files, even if you want to share files, allow you to do a lot of different things. And when we talk about annotation, the real idea around annotation is to direct attention. So one of the things that you can do with annotation is really highlight and focus on things that are really important. So for example, I might circle something here that I really want you to focus on, or maybe I'm going to put a little arrow here that I want you to do. And I'm doing that annotation in Zoom straight over top of whatever I'm actually looking at, which means you can annotate any kind of content you're sharing. You could annotate an application, or you can annotate PowerPoint. In addition, those of you that are really savvy with PowerPoint or know a little bit more of PowerPoint know that you can right click on your slides and actually bring up a pen. And once you bring up a pen, you have the ability to draw on it. So I could, for example, bring up a pen here and then draw in PowerPoint in the same way that I might be drawing in Zoom. And that's one of the things that's available and an important option for you as well. The nice thing about PowerPoint is that PowerPoint will go away or attach itself to slides. Annotation in Zoom will actually stay on whatever is on the screen, but you have to remember to zero it as you go forward. The next thing I want to talk about here is explaining ideas. And one of the important things about explaining ideas is application sharing. Most people think of application sharing for presenting. So I have a slide deck, I need to present it to my students, off we go. Use PowerPoint, here we go, share a screen, done. But there's a couple of other things that are really important I want to highlight to you, that if you're doing things like calculations, you might want to share SPSS if you're using SPSS. Do some calculations, show some results, talk about those results, change them in real time, have a discussion with students, etc. And the third, a good example, is coding. Maybe you're going to do live coding. You want to actually do some debugging for your students live. All of that is capturable and all of that is shareable for explaining ideas. Lastly, of course, is creating. You know, I could actually talk about using something like Finale if you're teaching music. If I had a keyboard attached, I could play a keyboard and actually have notes show up, or I could draw it myself, or I could even do drawing if I want to do drawing as part of an art history class as an example. So presenting, calculating, coding, creating, all sorts of ways that you can explain ideas to students by sharing the applications that you have. So the next thing I wanted to mention before we pass it over to Alex to talk a little bit more about engaging students is scaffolding concepts. So there's a lot of different tools that you have at your disposal to scaffold concepts. And I think whiteboarding is the most asked about feature when it comes to how do I scaffold ideas? How do I draw? How do I write out an equation, etc. So as I mentioned, you have that option here in Zoom that I showed you before, where you can annotate on a screen. That screen can just be a blank whiteboard. And you can annotate with your mouse. You can draw if you have a pen. If you're using other devices, we'll talk about that in a second. So Zoom has that ability to do whiteboarding right within your live class. In addition, the next one here is applications. There are a lot of applications designed for whiteboarding. So things like Microsoft Whiteboard, which is actually available online to anybody who uses any of the Microsoft tools, or things like OneNote, or even any drawing program that you have. You could actually just be drawing with your mouse or pen or whatever you're using. In other words, use that application to do whiteboarding and save those documents or save those PDFs for students after the fact. The third here is being able to use an external tablet. An external tablet would be something like an iPad or an Android device that you can connect directly to your a computer and be able to actually draw and annotate on an iPad and share it with your students. What's nice is it doesn't have to be connected with a wire. You can actually do this wirelessly, which means you can sit back in your chair, talk to your students, and draw on an iPad that is showing directly on your screen. All of that is available within Zoom. And actually, I showed you the screen before. When you went to share screen, one of the options was share an iPad. The last thing I want to mention, and this is where I'm actually going to show this to you, is using my phone. I'm actually going to do something very interesting where I'm actually going to share my external camera and what you can do with that. And one of the nice things about doing that is it really enables you to draw out ideas by using something very, very simple. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm just going to do a quick new share, and I'm going to share my my connected phone as it takes a second. Dun, dun, dun. Here we go. Okay. Now, what you see right here is actually my phone that's attached to my computer, and this is just my simple iPhone. And what I've got here is and hold on, I'm just going to do it this way so that I can see. There you go. What I've got here is a piece of paper, and on that piece of paper, I could talk about a triangle, and I could talk about A, B, and C, and then I could talk about A squared plus B squared equals C squared, and I could do an entire calculation drawn out on a piece of paper. Now, that's probably the limit to what I can remember about trigonometry here, but I think the idea is that with no joke, and I could show this to you here. I'm going to show you my setup. My setup is soup cans, okay? I literally have used soup cans to be able to do that and make sure that you're able to see the ideas of what I'm sharing. So those are a couple of really different, interesting ideas. And again, paper sharing is awesome. Drawing on paper is a fantastic thing. It's easy to do. And that's why I have that external camera as kind of the last one. Because you're right, you can use an iPad, you could use digital whiteboard, you can do all these complicated things. But sometimes a camera and a piece of paper can be fast, simple, and easy. So I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to move on to the next idea and pass it over to Alex, who's going to talk about sampling student ideas with chat. Take it away, Alex.
Thanks, Adam, and thanks for that crash course in Pythagorean equations. It's certainly been a while for me. So I'm going to talk about 3 strategies that you can implement in your course using Zoom that are really going to boost student engagement and promote student interactivity. So the first is going to be the chat, and there's already been a great deal of activity in the chat today. I'm really happy to sort of see that. So you can set it up in a couple of different ways. You can have it be public so that everybody's able to contact everybody, still allows for private messages. You'll know that notice that Adam and I and Kat all have TLS in our names. So if any of you are looking to, private message any of us, you can do that directly. And so you can also set things up the same in your course. And you can do a lot really with just the basic chat. You can open your class by saying, where's everybody joining from? And you'll see the students will flood it in. Keep in mind the students are joining from everywhere, just as I'm sure many of you are. You can also use it to ask things like, what's the muddiest point, right? Like what do students want more clarity on? You can do that at any point in your class, or you can conclude by saying, all right, what's everybody's takeaway from today? The best thing about this is concluding that way is that not only do you as the host or instructor get a saved copy of the chat, but students can also save the chat themselves if they want to refer back to it. Just a quick point to be able to save the chat. And if you want to save the chat from today, because I know Kat's busy putting a lot of links, if you go, there's 3 little dots in the chat field. If you click it open right above where you would enter your message, you click that and you click save. You'll be able to save the chat and view all the links that Kat's putting there. But you as the instructor, if you ask, hey, what's your takeaway today? Or what's your muddiest point? You can go after the class and look at that chat, debrief personally yourself, review, and then you can bring that to the next class and review that with all the students. I mean, what a great way to sort of be sensitive to their muddiest points and their things. So a couple of tips and tricks for the chat. Be really transparent about how you want people to use it. If you don't want it live and active, and it's really hard as a single person to lead a session to facilitate while also moderating a chat, maybe you want to disable it. You can disable it and enable it at any time by using the security shield feature that you'll have as a host. So maybe you want to turn it on when you want to ask a question and then turn it on after so that it's not free flowing. That's totally up to you. But if you do leave it open, if students have questions, it also allows for an opportunity for peer learning because students often answer the questions for each other, and what a great thing to see that is. But a great way to ask questions and a great way to engage not only your TAs as well in helping moderate questions. So that's the chat. So Adam, I'll get you to throw me to the next slide, please. So the next one is polling. We've got a couple layers here. We have the quick, simple, and informal to something a bit more formal. I'm going to go through that really quickly. So the quick and informal is basically using the features built into Zoom. So if you like something you hear at any point in time, you can click the reactions at the bottom, and students might do that. You got a thumbs up and you got a clap. You can actually customize the color of those icons in your Zoom settings. Alternatively, I'll ask you all to please go to the bottom of your screen and click on participants. You should see around roughly 58 in there. You're going to see a couple icons appear in that participants field. You're going to see a green and red yes, no. You're going to see a couple other ones. So this is a great way to do a leveled up poll in your class with asking binary yes no style multiple choice questions. So for example, I'm going to ask you all a question. The question is the following: do you have a pet in your home? If you have a pet in your home, I'm going to ask you to click the green yes. If you have no pets, go ahead and click the red no. So me as the host, what I'm seeing right now is numbers. I'm seeing 14, 16 yeses, 16 no's. So it's roughly 50-50. It's summarizing that information for me so I can do a quick poll on the fly. I'm seeing 17 yeses and 18 no's. And guess what? As the host, I can also clear it all. So that allows me to do one step up with polling. Now you can also use the integrated feature for polling that's in Zoom. I'll tell you more about that in a minute, but what we really recommend is that you use Turning Point and check that out. Learn more by attending our Polling at McGill webinars that are coming up. So with Zoom polling, that allows you to pre-plan a multiple choice question with up to 10 alternatives that can be anonymous. You can have single best answer style questions or select all that apply. It allows you to then add a program time, pose the question to your class, and then share the results live with them. Keep in mind that when you do this, it's not captured in the recording, but you as the host and instructor have access to those results. You can pull it in your reports afterward, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. So first things first, to get started with Zoom polling. Adam, I'll get you to hop me to the next slide. Most important thing is, first of all, have polling enabled in your settings. So you go to your settings, and then you want to select enable polling, which Adam is showing you there. So you want it slid to the right. Perfect. So then once that's done, you're free to go. But basically you create your meeting or your reoccurring meeting, and you go to your meetings, and it looks basically like that. You scroll to the bottom, you're going to see an option to add poll. Basically you click add, and you're off to the races. You go ahead and you can add your polling question, and then you'll be able to use it in the course of your meeting. And so to look like this, you can make it anonymous. You can, like I said, have multiple alternatives, select all that apply, so on and so forth. It's a bit labor intensive in that you have to do it ahead of time. There's no template for using it for reoccurring meetings. But again, it is a really nice integrated feature in Zoom, but it doesn't allow you a lot of customization on the fly. To get the reports, and so Adam will get you to flick me to the next slide. You can go to your settings, click reports, and then you go to meeting reports, and you can pull the information from your poll. Keep in mind that it's produced in a .csv, so it's not really, and it's not organized really well for data visualization or data analysis, but it is really nice to know that you as the instructor would have access to that information. Again, nice feature, but Turning Point, much, much better, much more sophisticated. The main idea is that this is an easy feature to use in Zoom to promote student interactivity and to run polling. Now I'm going to tell you about not only my favorite feature right now in Zoom, but what I've heard from all incoming students that I've been talking to about Zoom. This is their favorite as well. So stay tuned here. So Breakout Rooms in a nutshell allows you to go from a larger meeting, we're about 59 people right here, into small groups. And you can really tailor the way you do these small groups in a couple of ways. So in your meeting, you can select breakout rooms once you've got it enabled in your settings. You can pick the amount of time and the amount of groups you want, and Zoom can randomly assign people to groups, and off you go. If you want to go a step up, this is level up with Zoom. You can manually assign people to groups by using your cursor simply to drag and drop them in the menu, and it's really quite intuitive. So say, for example, you have 3 TAs and you want to create 3 breakout rooms. You can drag your TAs into those rooms and manually assign them in the prompt that you'll get when you go to select. Or, and this is the leveled up version, is because of this fantastic integration we have with Zoom in My Courses. You can create groups in My Courses, export that as a CSV, and then use that when you're setting up your meeting to pre-assign students to breakout rooms, breakout groups, before you head into the course. And why might you want to do this? Well, there's a bunch of reasons why you might want to use breakout rooms. First of all, it promotes group interaction. right? You can have little group discussions. You can give them small tasks to work on. You can also do something as simple as a think, pair, share. So a group we often try to think of as more than two, but actually it can be as simple as two. And we know that the think, pair, share is a really easy to use active learning strategy, and it will promote much more student interactivity in your larger Zoom meetings. It also breaks up the monotony of the meeting, frankly. If not that any of you are probably monotonous meeting leaders, but I know my voice tends to lead towards the monotony side of things. A few other features about breakout rooms is that you can have a maximum of 50 breakout rooms per meeting. So let's say you have about 100 students in a class and you want to run a think, pair, share where each person is in a pair. No problem. You can have as many as 200 people in a breakout room, but long story short, if you're putting 200 people in a breakout room, my advice is just don't do that. You maybe want to think about a different strategy because it's really better for those small group discussions. You as a host, you can drop into those breakout rooms, you can crash them, but in the same thing, if you look at Adam's background right there, he's in, I think that's Arts 150, it's an active learning classroom. So when you assign students group work, you have them work, what do? You usually walk in between, listen in, drop in, answer questions. So you can do the same thing in the breakout room feature, drop into the rooms, and then students can also call you in. It's like a summon feature. If they have a question, they run into an issue, or there's any problems whatsoever. So I want to leave you with a question for consideration. I want you to think about the chat, polling, and breakout rooms. These are 3 strategies to promote student interactivity in your courses. I want you to think, how can I use those in my course? And let me tell you, and then leave you on a very high point to say that I think Zoom for teaching and learning is out of this world. Back to you, Adam.
Of course, you know, I got to get the timing so my mute comes off just at the time where I can go, ha! Great job, Alex. Love that transition. So as you can see, we're doing this together. It's a lot of fun. And one of the things that you can do if you're teaching a team course where there's a number of people, we know a lot of people actually are team teaching in the classroom together. You can team teach in Zoom together. You can teach with your TAs together, and you can also hand this back and forth to your students. So it's really nice to have that kind of conversation going. A couple of things we want to mention just before we start to wrap it up is organizing your class and scheduling with Zoom. There are basically 2 ways to schedule your meetings with Zoom. One is from My Courses and one's from the Zoom client. So with My Courses, one of the things you're going to need to do is log in, and when you get to your course, look for the top link for Zoom, click on that, and you're going to be able to schedule a new meeting from inside Zoom. The real best part about scheduling the meeting from inside My Courses is that if you enable the cloud recording, or you actually do a recording to the cloud inside your Zoom session, it is automatically saved and automatically captioned within the lecture recording system. You literally do nothing after that. It just happens. So this is a great reason to use the integration within My Courses to schedule your setups for your students. Now, if you forget them, to do that, and you actually go to the client and you click on schedule and choose a schedule meeting, you can also bring those files into the lecture recording system for captioning and just sending to the students afterwards. It's just a couple more steps you have to go with. You have a lot more options here. And of course, some things I want to mention: muting people on entry, and only authenticated users can join. If you choose this only authenticated and McGill people, the only people who can get into your class are people from McGill that sign in. So this is one of the easiest ways to avoid any potential problems of somebody who shouldn't be there shows up. So the last thing we wanted to mention is really supporting review and using recordings with Zoom. Recordings with Zoom can be to the cloud or to your computer, and they really have different purposes. When you record to the cloud, it plops into Zoom, and what you can do is take advantage of the integration that we've already built between the lecture recording system and Zoom to be able to automatically pull those recordings from the cloud straight into the lecture recording system. Likewise, you can also record with your own computer if you want, record it to your computer that you have, and then actually edit it if you'd like, chop it up into pieces, use things like Camtasia or other tools to modify it, and then actually upload it to the lecture recording system when you're done. So if we look at the lecture recordings, where you should see this link in your toolbar in My Courses. If you don't, there are instructions about how to add that. And when you get there, you have a couple of options. When you actually go to manage recordings, if you clicked on lecture recordings and actually you use the My Courses integration with Zoom to schedule all of your sessions, you will automatically see a list of all of your recordings here. It's automatic, happens automatically, and of course it's captioned. I just want to point that out. I keep pointing that out as important. You can also upload a file that you have and have it automatically captioned. If you use the lecture recording system in past years, you can actually access prior recordings if you like as well. And you can also add other recordings that you might have done inside Zoom to your session and lecture recordings. So we're going to get to some questions in a second. I noticed there's a couple floating around and a couple of hands raised. But what I want to do is wrap all of our discussion up today, which again, this is a fast and furious leveling up with Zoom lesson. This is not for the faint-hearted. And the good thing is that it's recorded. So you can actually go back, watch this and slow us down by half speed. Not a problem. You can review any section that we've done before. But I want you to think for a second of what are some of the strategies that you looked at today in your class with Zoom? What could you do? How are some ways that you could use this? What are some ideas? I would say post those in the chat and let's take a look. And while that's going on, what I'll do is I'll take a quick look here to see if there are any questions that we need to address. Fall teachers, so Ross has asked about access to Zoom. Everybody who's teaching in the fall term has automatically been given the upgraded license to Zoom. You already should have it. And if you don't, then you need to make sure that you're actually officially teaching something this fall. If there's a problem, just email IT support. We can make sure that that's all taken care of. Is there a direct way to have groups that you create in My Courses become breakout rooms? It's not direct. You actually have to get the list of people in groups and then do a little bit of manual massaging and upload the list into Zoom. So it's not perfectly automated, but it's a really interesting and simple way to move forward. So a couple of options here. So when somebody says caption, do you mean closed caption? Yes. Closed captioning is a little bit more complicated where closed captioning is actually describing video. It's not quite to that level. It's taking whatever is said in terms of audio and transcribing it into text. So it's basically captions. It's like what you would see if you turn on captions on Netflix or somewhere else. And what's really great is all of those captions are done automatically. And I have to tell you, the accuracy rate is close to 98, 99%. It's incredible how good the automatic captioning is. You also have the ability to edit and modify those captions after they are done. So I'm gonna say what I'm gonna do is just show you the last slide or two where you can go next. The one thing I want to point out is, of course, My Courses Essentials, absolutely critical as a great place to start if you need a leg up on getting to know My Courses. You should see that in your list when you log into My Courses, the My Courses Essentials. And you'll notice here we have 67 posts of people posting things back and forth into discussion. So please join us there. There, of course, are more webinar sessions that go into much more detail. I'd like to point out the Getting Started with Polling, which we did last week. There's a recording online if you want to see it, as well as there'll be another one next week, is a great next step for doing more interactive engagement. And we'd also sort of say, well, what would you like to know? So I'd like to sort of stop there. We've got a couple minutes. We can open it up to more questions. Alex, I'd say if there are any questions you see, to jump right in and let's start addressing them.
There's a great activity in the chat here today. I'm glued in over here. Thanks everyone for your questions. I know there's definitely a couple of questions about like the lecture recording system, the integration with My Courses in general. I don't know if there's anything that you could speak to that. I'm going to try to pull that question.
I think that it's still being worked on and edited and updated every sort of week this summer. But what I would do is try all of this out. Go to your course, make sure you have the lecture recording systems, do a recording, make sure it goes into Zoom and then gets sucked into the lecture recording system. Go through that process once or twice and try it out. If there's a problem, email IT support and they will definitely help work through that with you. Related, I do notice Nicholas asked about polling at McGill. Polling has a lot more sophisticated questions, way more than multiple choice. It's got open answer, things like word clouds. It's got identifying hotspots on images. So there's a lot more there if you want to look at moving towards something more powerful and more sophisticated. Captioning, and then there's another question about captioning accurate with technical terms. It's pretty good. I mean, we've run it through with chemistry classes and things like that, and it's pretty accurate. Again, you can always review and edit, and actually there's an option in the lecture recording systems for students to be able to actually do some crowdsourcing, so they can actually fix it too. Yes, Jane, it will work with French, and as well as actually multiple languages, not just French. So it will actually capture and caption in multiple languages. Alex, do you want to take the breakout room discussions omitted from recording? Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So what goes on in the breakout rooms, quote unquote, stays in the breakout rooms unless one of the students enables a recording of that particular content. So your main meeting will not include recordings of what happens in the breakout rooms, and that's good to know.
So the other thing you can do too is you can actually ask your students, if you really want those recorded, ask your students who are in the breakout rooms to do a recording and then send you the files afterwards. So that's another way that you can do to really help students along. I noticed there's a question here from Sarah about how is the whiteboard different from a PowerPoint white screen in Zoom. So there are two different, there's a bunch of different possibilities for whiteboarding, as we mentioned. Zoom basically overlays like a whiteboard on top of whatever you're showing. And it's ephemeral. So when you're done with that screen and you clear it, it's gone, except in the recording. When you annotate in PowerPoint, it actually can save the drawings in each slide as you're going. So the PowerPoint annotating is pretty powerful. It's pretty useful. So I would really experiment with both and find out which one works for you and what would be useful for your particular situation with teaching. So Monica said it's a bit of a whirlwind of a webinar. You bet. I mean, we basically mentioned at the beginning, this is going to be a roller coaster of Zoom, leveling up with Zoom. It's also, again, keep in mind, one of the reasons why we record these sessions, you can go back and literally slow us down by half speed if you'd like. We did not expect you to actually be able to do everything we talked about after seeing it and looking at it for 20 minutes. I think that it's really giving you next steps, and that's really the important part, is you have a little bit of exposure, and really the question is, where do you want to go next? And we've given tons of links about where you can take that next step in order to move forward. We appreciate the feedback, and if there are more webinars and other things that you'd like to see us focus some more details on, please let us know. We are adding more and more documentation so that you can have other tutorials or other videos that we didn't necessarily do that you can follow along with.
And if I could just add to that, one of the ways that I've really helped get myself leveled up with Zoom is just, I got a couple of colleagues together and we played around with the features. We tried to find Waldo with the annotation feature. We sent ourselves to breakout rooms and never returned, you know, so it's a process of low stakes trial and error. It is a new tool, but it is fairly intuitive. And the best way is just to just to practice and just experiment with what's possible, and then continue to level up your skills from there. And keep in mind, your students are going to be pretty savvy with this in general, so they'll be there. They'll be forgiving as we all continue our learning curve.
Yeah, and so a couple of questions about where do you go to get the step-by-step? The step-by-step we don't really do in the webinars where we guide you through the literal button pushes that you need to do, because it's too difficult to do with 50 people. But what we did do is, if you look at the links that Kat's posted, as well as all of the resources on our webinars page, it has the links where it's step-by-step, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, how to set up breakouts and how to manage those breakout rooms. It's all there and should be available to you. I noticed that Eyal, you mentioned to this private, sent this to me privately, so I'll bring this question up. Are all options in my courses working at present for those that teach in the fall? They should be. Now, what you should look at is make sure that you have added the Zoom link to your toolbar if you don't see it, or the lecture recordings to your toolbar. Again, that is in our instructions online that you can look at. So start there. If there's something else that's missing, email IT support and absolutely be able to help you out. They'll be able to help you out. And if it's an issue, we'll get it escalated up from there. Definitely feel free to save the chat. As Alex said, this is a good time to save that chat as we kind of wrap up our session. Because we're actually 4 minutes over our time. But we definitely want to say thank you. If there's any other, Alex, you want to sort of say any last kind of comments before we wrap it up?
Last but not least, just to say, we're also developing complementary resources for students so that their skills with Zoom are suited to what your needs are for running your courses. I'm going to drop a link to one of our sites on Learning with Zoom, and just know that we'll be adding lots of great content for students to help with their learning and to help with your teaching in the coming weeks.
Thanks, Alex. And exactly, I think one of the things we really want to stress and make sure, practice this stuff. Find a colleague, do a Zoom session with your family, get your kids involved, have them draw on the screen. Like, this is the opportunity to get friends to draw on the screen. The summer's a great opportunity to really practice this stuff. And it's the best way to learn it, because we all are doing this, we all learned this ourselves as well by trying all this stuff out and reading as much as we can. So we definitely suggest you do the same. Again, thank you for coming. Thanks a lot for attending our session. All of the resources are online, and the video will be posted as soon as it's crunched, captioned, and online. Great. Thanks again. And we're happy to stay for a minute or two if there are any more questions. Otherwise, we'll stop the recording and see you all in another Zoom session. Thanks a lot.